Hello everyone. Hope everybody doing good, enjoying their weekend. Welcome to another episode of Ripster daily recaps and daily teachings. By the time you have this video, it should be either Saturday or Sunday. But this recap is for Friday trade. This recap is for September 29th, guys. Last trading day of the month. We are moving into October. Monthly candles close. Finally, we are out of this red September. Frankly, for a volatility trader, not complaining. It was a good month. You guys can go back, see all the timestamps, trade recaps from the whole month. I have it all up here. Probably I missed a day or two, but another great day, guys. It was great way to end this month. So what we are going to watch today is there are a few things. I'm going to show you a setup, a secret concept nobody else teaches. Nobody else on Fintuit anywhere on YouTube teaches except me. I have a bunch of videos, maybe a couple of videos before this on this 10A, the secret concept. I will talk about it in a bit, and then we will talk about the gap fill setups. Did we trade the gap fills? Big win on Nike short using a psychological 100 concept, and then big win on Zscaler at the open. Nice trade on Tesla, and then the biggest trade of the day, the short of the market in the gap fill SPY QQQ with the VIX bouncing off 16 level, for a big close to the day. So I mentioned few concepts here. These are not something new. I have been talking about them in all my past videos, and but my students, who hear my videos or my teachings wholeheartedly, they know that what I'm talking about, and they nailed it today, guys, right? So if you see today by 10 a.m. 70% of my community was green, right? Why? Not because I was alerting a bunch of stuff, because they are learning. They know what is the setup. They know what concepts to follow. The same concepts I teach again and again that you guys need to follow. If I go there, of course there are 4 pillars of success. We talk about how to grade and this is all free. This is all public, right? But I make sure that my community, my folks are focusing on these rules. Nobody is getting bagged going against the trend. So we follow those fixed rules, guys. Stay tuned if you want to learn these setups, these concepts. These will help you a lot. I post about these basic trading concepts every day. I repeat them every day. So today we are going to cover the secret setup, the 10 a.m., 10:15 a.m. trend time concept. That's the secret setup. Then we're going to talk about the gap fill, how we traded the gap fills today. Then again, we are going to cover our VIX strategy, the bounce in the VIX with the gap fill. And then we will talk about how we focus on the SPX flow. A lot of SPX traders in my community. So we focus on the SPX flow, how the SPX flow, put side or call side, that helps us understand. Jay, our SPX expert, it helps us understand, have more conviction in our shorts or our longs. So yes, with that, all that said, this, ready to kick off the recap. Stay tuned. You learn a lot. All right, here we go. All right, as always, I was up 45 minutes before the market opened, going through all my news sources, trying to find the news, trying to find what is a good play for everybody, going through more news, corporate news. We're looking at the news today. Nike had a news, Microsoft had a news, FedEx, Budweiser, GameStop also had a news. Right, then I always look at analyst comments. This morning, what were the analyst comments about? So Zscaler had a comment from Morgan Stanley. Morgan Stanley upgraded Zscaler. Remember, whenever there's Morgan Stanley, Bank of America, JP Morgan, whenever these analysts speak, the stock moves. Mostly. I mean, we know that a good analyst said something, then we watch the price action, right? The price action first, the news is just the catalyst, and then we can see if the price action is responding to that or not. You see right here, Zscaler PT raised to 140.55 was on our watch list, right? And one thing, guys, this morning, everybody knows We were overnight on Tesla, overnight on AMD, overnight on ASMC. Everything gapped up. Everything gapped up overnight. So we were already in big profit. From there, and we'll talk about our Tesla long trade as well, and then we'll talk about AMD and all that. But anyways, so we went through all the news, Nike and Bumble, APRN, bunch of news. I went through all the news. I selected the plays I want to focus on. My top plays, the watch list was ready. I shared with the community: Nike, Zscaler, UAA, XPEV, Baba. The Chinese names were gapping up, so my interest was to short them, or if they hold the EMA Clouds, we long them, right? I will show you what I said about those. And then Costco, and then bunch of some low volume gappers, which were on watch list. And then the marketplace: Apple, Microsoft, AMD, Nvidia, SMCI, Google, Amazon, Tesla, Meta, Netflix, Boeing, SPY, and QQQ. So our watch list was ready. We're ready for the day. Shared all my levels. If you're interested, you can take screenshot of these levels and then go review how they worked out. I'm gonna just take one level and show you how that worked out. So let's look at the level of Apple. What level did I give? Support pivot. So what does support pivot means? If the support pivot is breaking down, it breaks once down, let it bounce, and if it fails again, you take a short. If you take a short right away, you take 1/3 or 1/4 position, and it's fading, breaking the support. If it's under EMA Clouds, you short it. It's going to be a trend. So what was our level? 171.70. 171.70. This was my level right here. 170 is breaking, trying to push towards EMA Clouds, 3450 EMA Clouds. Those who don't know my system, go read or go to my website, ripstereducation.com, go to the trading tips, go to the Ripster's Clouds Explained. You will understand how the Ripster Cloud System works. So anyways, we break down, reject the Ripster EMA Clouds, and then flush back down from the level I gave. Nice short trade on Apple later in the day. So just taking one, I was just wanted to take one level. So I always provide these levels to help my folks, help my community. And you can also, if you have your levels ready in pre-market, you take the guesswork out of your trading. You take the guesswork out. Levels, support, resistance is the most important thing, guys. It is the most important thing. If you are a trader, investor, long term, short term, does not matter. It is all about levels. Take 100 charts, draw trend lines, draw support lines, draw resistance lines, draw rectangle boxes, weekly, daily, clean all the indicators, see how the price historically has reacted to those levels. You will see the breakout moves, the breakdown moves. That will make you a better trader. Not any magic indicator, not any buy sell service alert, nothing. You need to see, when you see a chart, you need to see what it's going to do. You need to know those probabilities of a breakout or a breakdown as soon as you see the chart, just like I see it, right? Because when I see something, I know what is the probability of it doing what, based upon the repeatable patterns. All right, guys, enough of that. And now let's go. So VIX levels already, guys. If you don't know my VIX SPY strategy, go look on my videos, learn my VIX and SPY strategy, learn the strategy. I'll briefly cover it here. Today it was the 16 was the level. It was all about the 16. When the 16 VIX bounced, market faded, the options went 200, 300%. You could turn your few $100s to $1,000 with the repeatable system. So that was our VIX strategy. Can't cover it full here. Go look my other videos. I will link them down there as well. So you see that was the VIX bounce from 16 back towards 18 and the fade on the market. Alrighty. So that was that. Now let's go see what was the plan. All right. So VIX, if breaks 16, 1620, bias downside will be bullish. Will be bullish on the market. Gap up day today. So ideally, so what was the personality of the market? It was a gap up day. Either it was going to do gap up long or gap down, gap fill, right? So that's what it was going to do. So we were ready for both and see what it does. Right here, first identify the personality of the market. First thing you do when you wake up, that's what you do. You identify the personality of the markets so that you are ready for whatever is going to come. All right, let's go next. So we were ready for the day. Nike so there was the plan. Nike was bullish to neutral if it breaks out of 100, and if Nike rejects 100, the plan was to short it, and if it pulls back to 96.30, holds that level, we could long it, right? So we had, I was on the voice, so I had a plan for Tesla as well. The 250 breakout was the key for Tesla to trade Tesla. Zscaler was a bullish plan to long versus the 150, 190 level. CCL was a bearish bias versus those bearish buys versus 15. Baba was gapping up 87. It was a trade plan to trade it long versus 87. If it under the gap, the plan was short the gap fill, right? So I'm going to quickly go through all the trades. Let me just go through the Nike trade, guys. So what did I see at Nike, right? I'm just going to go show you my comments on the Nike. That's why it's easier. Let's see, Nike. So all right, guys, here is the Nike trade, right? So what was the setup? So setup was gap up short versus the 100 cycle level, right? And the setup 2 was gap fill short once it breaks the EMA Clouds or the pre-market support. The risk was 100 for the opening short and then adding more under the EMA Clouds, right? So if you can see here, right, if you can read what I'm trying to show you, let's look here. So if you can see, so I was short versus 930, right versus 100 I was short, and then it was coming to support. Let me show you here right now. So let's look at it. So as soon as it opens, it shows me a heaviness, and I see its rejection on the tape 2 and level 2, and right away, because I have a clear risk with 100, I have a clear risk with 100 on Nike to short it. So that's where I hit Nike short. You can see, let's see, okay, let's see, let me go back. All right, so here you see Nike versus 100 scalp short, starter size 930, right? That was my first trade of the day. Then I talked about the Zscaler. As I told you, I was watching, you saw my plan above here, what my plan was, and Zscaler watched the pullbacks, right? And watch the pullbacks and the next week calls. And Zscaler took it up right at open 931, and it went from 154.50 all the way to 159, right? So Zscaler was almost a $5 per share win. The options for the next week went 80%. So that was Zscaler. Right there, you see two setups, right? Nike, I already explained to you what was the setup. Nike was the setup was gap up short versus a cycle level resistance. That was the setup. Second setup was the break under the support, this level, under that level to fade it further all day, just like the screenshot I showed you. So that was the setup, guys. Nike went from short $99 to all the way to $94. Even if you were $200 short, that was $1,000 made. Risking $200, you made probably $800. So that is the kind of trades risk reward you do. The 98 puts were illiquid. I don't know how far the puts went, but both of them, both these setups right away were good setups. And all day guidance on Nike, you can see here, I closed my short right 10 minutes before the close. Oh no, 1 hour before the close, I closed it, right? And I was giving my targets, right? Fibonacci's, right? So this is the Fibonacci highs, high of the day, pre-market high is the Fibonacci high, and then 50% retracement was my first target, and that's what we got. So, look carefully. This was a good setup, guys. If you are patient, these are the A+ setups you get, right? Of course, this was a short against the trend, but I shorted against this trend small size because against the trend, it was a B setup. But by the time it started failing, it became an A setup. So, because I had a defined risk. So always try to find your risk. Don't look how much money you can make. Try to find how much money you can lose before you try to find how much money you can make. That's the only way you will have consistent growth. Again and again in your trading, you will have consistent growth. Right, so you can see all day my guidance. You can read on Twitter, on our Tenet Twitter handle or my Twitter. You can see all day guidance. You can go there and see how I was guiding short all day. Right, so let's see what we did with Zscaler. Okay, Zscaler bullish to neutral versus 150, 190. Okay, bullish to neutral. Watch the pullbacks long. Next week, into 10 a.m. we took the first profits into 158. The target was 160. It pulled back close to a target. And then we took all the, when it was breaking down this level, I said manage your positions when it breaks 157.70 area support, and then that's broke, then it always pulls back to EMA Clouds. Always this is where you take the final profit. And if somebody was shorting it, short scalping it, a B minus setup, that was a good setup as well, from 157 to 155. That's $2 short right there. Okay, so this is what I said. Nice fade since my alert. So that was Zscaler, guys. Quickly going to go through other shorts, other good wins for the day. So if you know, my bias on CCL was short, and look how my risk was 48. I clearly said, you can clearly see what I said. Let's go a little bit up here. I show you. Bearish bias versus 1480.15. Short the pops. Want to see lower high, lower low. Right, it pulled back and then pushed again. Some of people were panicking, in the community. We have hundreds of traders in the communities. There are some traders are new. There are some traders are new to the system, so sometimes they don't understand, and they try to ask me for the help. And then this guy was asking, hey Rip, it's coming over the EMA Clouds. What should I do? Clearly, the level was 15 to risk. Patience, right? So just like yesterday we shorted, what was it? I forgot. There was a similar setup we shorted yesterday, and it flushed from 1485 all day fade. The short went from risking 30-40 cents. You made almost $1.20. So that's one risk to three reward, guys. So that is kind of trade you need to do. So that was another win, guys. CCL short today. Beautiful trade. Let's quickly look at BABA. My plan was BABA to short the BABA. I did not touch it, but the idea kind of worked because BABA was bounced from 87 first, you see. So BABA, if it holds, we long some. It bounced from 87 to 87.80. Good scalp. Then 10 a.m. rejection. Broke under 87. And faded all day. It still kind of worked, but I was not interested in this little bitty chop, little bitty range, so I did not further touch it. All right, so let's see what else we did. All right, so we were long Tesla at open. Then before I go to my, okay, you can see all my comments here on Tesla, right? Okay, Tesla. Good scalp longs there as per pre-market plan versus 250. And as soon as it started to break out, I said long, added, and then I added more. Once it started to break out, add little more into the position, right? So added more, and the Tesla went from 250 to almost 255. Beautiful trade. And I was in the lotos today. I talked about the lotos. So you can see clearly target 254. Why? Gapping up, holding the gap, holding the support, 250 key level, holding it, pre-market breakout over the EMA Clouds. Take that setup, guys. Market was bouncing, QQQ was strong. That's when you take the setup and you do not hesitate. When you see setup like this, when you have a clear risk, you could have easily in the shares risked $1 to make $3. Right, one risk to three rewards. And even in the lotos, 250 lotos went almost 80 to 100%. That's what I said, to take those lotos, and went 100%. So that was another nice win, guys. Tesla. So these were the main trades today, and we didn't really have to do anything. Most of the room was green by 10 a.m. We long this stuff, and we were doing good. So I'm guiding on the top of these things all the time. All right, I'm not going to keep this a long video, so I'm going to talk about the main thing. All right, so what do I teach every time, guys? What do I teach you about 10 a.m. concept, right? So my 10 a.m. concept, okay. So here are my day trade concepts, right? So what I always talk about, if you go back, see my videos, you will see I use these concepts every day in each of my video, guys. It's not that hard. You will see I work with the same system again and again and again. So I talk about pre-market lows, pre-market highs. I talk about previous day lows, previous day highs. I talk about opening candle lows, highs, 5, 8, 12, 34, 50 EMAs, relative volume for the day, option flows, SPY QQ, VIX for the large caps, the VIX strategy. Then I also talk about 9:45, 10 a.m., 10:15 trend time. So what is this concept? 10 a.m., 10:15 trend time. I have more videos about it. I have been teaching this concept for many years, and a lot of my followers, people in my community, other traders, they are using this concept. So let me try to explain how important this concept is. So 10 a.m. guys, every day at 10 a.m., 10:15 a.m., once the first half hour rush dies down, because first half an hour is most of the volume, most of the floor traders, institutional day traders come in, come out, make a position, take a position off, do their adjustments, and then 10:15 a.m. is called what it is called a trend time. So if anything that is trending and it starts to continue make new highs or more new lows, or new highs or highs or higher lows after 10 a.m., it has more tendency to keep going that way all day. Similarly, if 10 a.m. something goes lower after 10 a.m., it has more tendency to fade all day, like I show you all every time. This is not the first time I'm telling you, but I'm just trying to still explain this strategy. And if something holds the pre-market level, pre-market highs or pre-market lows are in that 10:15 a.m., then we see a chop. So you use that level, you use the 10 a.m. concept to identify some of your setups. What are those setups? So I have 10 a.m. rejections, 10:15 a.m. rejections, 10:15 a.m. bounces, 10:15 a.m. recognize the chop, right? So what happened today? So what happened at 10 a.m. today? So you can go see my other videos. I will link on the same concept that I teach again. So if you go to X or Twitter, if you search my name for what about the 10 a.m., you will see all the trades from previous few years. What happens at 10 a.m.? 10 a.m., 10 a.m., market rejection, 10 a.m., right? Okay, workday, 10 a.m. That's why we take profits into 10 a.m. because we see the rejection. So we include that into our 10 a.m. as well. September 28th, some rejection at 10 a.m., but later it made a breakout of 10 a.m., right? So 10 a.m. concepts, market push after 10 a.m., 10 a.m. bounce of the pre-markets, So my teachings about 10 a.m. helps us lock our morning profits into 10 a.m. push. That is also very important. Right, you keep going down from last few years, you will find lot of my repeatable 10 a.m. 10 a.m. breakout, no 10 a.m. rejection, 10 a.m. breakout, 10 a.m. breakout, right? So 10 a.m. breakout right there, range bound after 10 a.m., chop after 10 a.m., bounce at 10 a.m. So right, so that is, so yeah, there's another video that I will link. So that's about it, guys. That is what you need to see. So that's what happened today at 10 a.m. So I started seeing the rejection, right? So that's why we take the profit in the community. So let me show you. Okay, so again, the personality today was gap up, gap up, gap up, gap down, gap up, gap up, gap fill. So gap is also called gap and crap. So once it started to reject this level, and here also comes our another super strategy, VIX strategy. VIX started to bounce from 16. That was the A setup. Even over the trend, it was the main setup to take the short versus these highs. Take a starter. Once it starts to break EMA clouds, add into the starter. You know the gap fill is coming. You know that gap fill is coming. And that's the target I gave, right? So you see beautiful gap trade. SPY hit 430, right? So let's go back. Let's see my comments there. And here's the other thing. The jab was coming in. He was checking on the SPX flow. A lot of bearish flow was hitting on the tape. And that gave us more conviction that do not long. We were long in the morning and we took profits when market started tanking. This gap fill setups. I'm showing you three concepts in one. This what I'm showing right now is I'm showing you three concepts in one video right here. VIX concept. Trading the SPY versus the VIX. Gap fill concept. Shorting from the gap highs. Short it for the gap fill. Great trade on puts. Puts went crazy, or the shorts. Third concept, 10 a.m. concept. So three concepts, guys. I'm teaching you right here. You can always have it. You know. Yeah. So when this happened, we were not long in anything. Already showed you other fades that and this fade helped us take the profits on our longs as well. So look what I said. SPY QQQ under the cloud as VIX is pushing over 16. We will probably fill that market gap. I said that clearly, right? I don't say things after the fact, guys. I say it before so that you know that I'm not bullshitting and this is what it really happens. You can see my comments right here. Nike was going to a target. So you can see what I even did was, look here, my comments, right? Some pullbacks versus the PM highs. If you short scalp, use the PM highs. Here goes more for the short scalp PM highs, right? So that was before even 10 a.m. That was before in 10 a.m. right? And then my target was 430, and then under the clouds, it started to fade more and more and more. So let me see, and same for QQQ followed up later, right? And if you see that I had this before the gap fill, and you see after the gap fill. If go to my Twitter, you will see before and you will see after, right? You will see before and you will see after. Then you can see, oh right, so this guy is saying the right thing. That's the conviction, that is the setup. So our alerts were hitting, QQQ was crossing into the gap as well, QQQ filled the gap as well, SPY was fading, QQQ I gave 358 targets, Jay was coming with his SPX flow reading. He saw the institutions bearish and he told us do not buy anything, right? So, and we stay with the trend, right? It was really nice to see a lot of folks today in the community, like this guy. He was always trading against the trend, but since he started to follow my education, he stays with the trend, and he is doing ending September as his best month ever. So very encouraging, right? It's not about it's not about that showing you that okay, he's only doing it in my community. My point is, these are small concepts which can change your trading. These are small concepts which can change your trading. So I'm seeing a lot of change. Even before I was on YouTube, I got hundreds of DMs over the years on this. So anyways, guys, that's about it. And we are starting our bootcamp webinars, which I will be doing for my yearly community members. I didn't have time to do it, but there's a lot of requests, so I will start that, and we'll start making some nice webinars to cover a lot of things. So we will do that in future. So and I'll keep posting our stuff on YouTube as well. And all right, guys, happy weekend. Watch this video again. A lot of lessons in this video today that you can learn and you can implement again and again and again. If you want to come trade with me, join the community. See you there. Otherwise, keep following on Twitter. Go to my website, ripstereducation.com. All my learning is there. I still need to put more stuff there. Watch all my trade recaps. And now we'll see how the next week goes. I'm planning a market analysis video soon. We'll see if we are ready for the bullish move yet or not. But I am looking at some swings, Roku, SMCI, few other names, which I will share soon with you guys. Take care. Happy Sunday, happy Saturday, happy Sunday, whatever the day today is. And see you again next week. Thank you.